At
This
least
conference will now be recorded.
From your VPC, at least you should allow.
Okay, okay, sir. But private in that it's happening, sir.
Private and I didn't get you. What? See, from I created two instances, that is public and
Yes,
private.
sir. But, yeah, private instance is SSH, sir.
You are able
Public
to connect to
EC2 in the
private
archive.
instance.
Yeah, sir.
That means you have done wrong configuration. So the routing table you have to check. So maybe private instance, I mean subnet you have exposed to internet. Can you show
Okay,
me?
sir.
Can you share your
I'll
screen
check, sir.
and show me what? See, it is
So I
not
deleted
the
that
name.
EC2.
That's
Okay.
okay, but it's not by the name. Private and public, by name it will not become. By it,
Okay.
the private or public will be decided based on the routing table which it is following.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Suppose if you just by naming convention, it will not become private. See, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Last week, what I did.
Okay, sir.
If you remember, see, that is what I created, right? So these were the two instances which I created: Bastion host and private instance.
Yes, sir.
Just a second. If you go to VPC and check the routing table configuration, you will find. So if you check the subnet, if you see the subnet file and see the routing table which it is following. Test public RT. So 5 and
Sir.
4 were public in my case.
Okay.
See here. It is not by the name. It is by the routing information. If you see here, this routing table is having a route to the IGW. But if you check the other subnet 1, 2, 3, this, if you see here, there is no route to the internet. You're getting
Okay,
it.
sir.
So maybe there are
Yes,
chances
sir,
that you have not added the route. Just cross check.
okay. I think I've added the routing table, both the private and public, sir, I think.
Yeah, so that could be the, see, connection timeout means definitely it is firewall issue. So either it will be somewhere
Okay.
security group. You have to first check this, and next thing what you have to check
Okay.
is go to your EC2 instance. For
Okay.
now I have not created anyone, just I will show you. So there will be a security group, right? This one.
Yes, sir.
So you have to check the inbound rules, whether you have allowed for all the your VPC or allow from anywhere. So these things you have to check.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Got it, sir. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
So check step by step, then you will be able to solve the issue.
Yes,
Right.
sir. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. So in the last week, we were discussing on VPC peering, right? So let me share. You please go on mute everyone, otherwise it will get echo and it will disturb. Yeah, so this is where I stopped last week. Okay, so we were discussing what will be the component. So each component, so when you say VPC, test VPC, Mumbai VPC, another account AWS another AWS account VPC. Whenever I say or whenever you come across a VPC, you should think of this scenario. So these components will be there. Okay, or even more, minimum these many will be there. That internet gateway, there might be in a region there will be many VPC. Okay, so there will be 5 and maximum in any region you can create only 5 VPC, not more than that. Okay, so today we are going to show you the VPC peering connection, how we can connect VPC to VPC. Okay, and I hope you have gone through the material which I shared last week. Okay, so VPC peering will helpful in if you want to connect this VPC to this VPC. I will show you. So first I will create another VPC. Okay, quickly, because I have already created test VPC, right? So for this demonstration, I will select another region. Say for example, now I was using Mumbai region for my VPC. If you go here, so this test VPC. Now I want to utilize another region, say Northern Virginia, which is in USA. Okay, here I am going to create another environment VPC, which is what I'm going to name it as UAT VPC. Okay, so just what, so you can create VPC in another type also using this wizard. Okay, so I'll explain once again how we can create using the wizard. So click on we create VPC and select the VPC and more. So this will create the things for you, including the routing table and everything. So this is useful for those who doesn't understand the technical aspect, but I recommend only to use this in order for you to get more and more practice, but you can also use this also. Okay, so I'm going to name it as UAT VPC right. So UAT VPC, and I'm going to, so I need to remember by some CADR, right? So this I'm going to name it as 10.100. Okay, because the another VPC I have 210.200, right? Isn't it? So just you can cross check. So duplicate the tab. See, whenever you want to do a VPC peering, right? So the CADR range should be different. It cannot be same. I'll just show you what I meant. See here. You can see here 10.200 0.0/16. I can create with the same VPC. It doesn't matter. I can use the same CADR, but I will not be able to connect these to VPC because the routing table will get confused. So the first rule in VPC peering is no two VPC will have the same VPC CIDR ranges. At least the second octet should have some changes. At least it should be 201 or 150 something. Okay, so that is what I meant. So go back here. So a second. So I'm going to name it as 10.100 for simplicity, and I'm going to give 16. That means 65,536 IP address it is showing, right? And no IPv6. So I'm not going to create any IPv6. Okay. Next, how many IP availability zones? So for this, we are going to select only 2. Okay. So how many public subnets you want? So you can have, so if you want 2 subnets, you can mention 2 and 2 private. So you can create like this. So 2 and 2. Or if you want more subnets, so as you can see here, it is getting changed here. See, So, but let us stick to 2, right? And if you want to create gateway, as I told, we should not create because it is chargeable. So as you can see here, it is not free. Okay, so that's it. So as you can see here, so this is the chart UAT VPC. This will create. So I am making use of 2 availability zones. That means 2 data centers. So in each data center, I will have one public and one private, and one public and one private, and each public will follow. See, if you see here, this is following this, and this public is following the same, and whereas this one is following this, and this is following this. So basically we have created 2 private as per the availability zone. So you can do that. So per subnet you can create one routing table. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then just click on create VPC. So this is the simplest part. So what will happen in this way, this will think that you have to divide the subnets in equal parts. So this what it will do, 65,000 IP address is there, no? So this will divide it into 4 equal parts. You're getting it? So that means each subnets will have equal number of IPs. I will show you. So just click on create VPC. Now see here, one by one it will start creating. Okay, so this will be useful in saving time. Now you can see here, go to the subnets. See, now they are all using /20 because we need equal number of subnets. So 40404091, isn't it clear? So this has divided into /20. Okay, so you can use this. So you can create one more also if you want. So you can say pre-prod you can use, and this I'm going to name it as 10 150, right? So I don't want to create anything other like CADR blocks. I'm going to use same 2 public subnets and 2 private subnet. Okay, so this will also create. So this will come handy when you want to save time. So this will create all the routing table, everything on your behalf. Okay, so if you can see here, we should click on subnets. So as you can see, pre-prod also it is created. So this is how we create. So this is the public. So pre-prod RTB public. See, pre-prod RTB private to US East 1B. So as you can see, there is no route to the Ethernet gateway. Fine. Now we have created how many VPC? So 2 VPC here in Northern Virginia and 1 VPC in Mumbai. So I will go back to the Mumbai region. Here I'll be launching one EC2 instance. Okay, in public. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Go back, launch instance. I'm going to name it as Bastion host. Leave everything default and key pair name, select the one, right? And allow traffic from your IP or anywhere, that is totally fine. And you can click on launch instances. So it will launch the instance for you. Okay, so where I have launched the instance. So if you noticed, now I have launched the instance where in the default subnet. Okay. So now I am using the default subnet. You can see here. So go to the networking. If you see with the VPC ID and the private IP address, I am using the default subnet. You can use that. And public IP also it is changing. Okay. So you can use that, or else if you want to create in your own VPC, that also you can do. So, but what we will do, we will repeat the entire process. Now this default VPC, we will use it as a Bastion VPC. So Bastion VPC in the sense, we are not going to create any instances in the test VPC which is exposed to the internet. Okay, so first I will show you. So now I'm going to launch one more instance in the private subnet of the test VPC. So now see here, so private instance, select everything as default, always select T2 micro, key paste, select same thing, but here you have to edit and select the test VPC and disable, and subnet you can select subnet 1, 2, 3, anything, because 1, 2, 3 are all private. So select this and select the existing security group. So we are going to use the inside VPC. So we are going to use the inside VPC, or we are going to, okay, we'll use the inside VPC and we'll see how we can troubleshoot the connectivity issue and launch. Okay, if I have to explain this in a diagram, so what I have done is I have created okay, so in Mumbai I have created 2 VMs or servers. So one is in a public, okay, and one is in the private. You are getting it? So now one is in the default VPC that is exposed to the public. So first I will log into this machine, and before logging in I will copy the key pair from my laptop. So from here to this, from here to here, I will copy the key pair, and then I will log in here, then I will change the permission. Then from here to here, I using the private IP, I will log in. And next, I am going to create one more server in Northern Virginia, which is again private. And I will try to connect from here to here, which will not be possible because there won't be any VPC peering. After I will do the VPC peering, then only I'll be able to connect successfully. So this is a like a mini project, you can consider this. Okay. And whenever I say VPC, you have to imagine these entities will always be there. Okay, so let us do this. Okay, now these things are done. Now I will go to Mumbai. Okay, now I am here. Yeah, so now I am in Northern Virginia. So go to as you can see, I'm in Northern Virginia. I don't have any instances. I don't have any key pair, so I need to create a new key pair as per the region. So because key pair is also a regional entity. So now I'm going to click on launch. Now I'm going to select private instance Northern Virginia. So otherwise you will get confused. So Northern Virginia, right? So same Amazon Linux, you select key pair. I don't have any, so create a new key pair. So I'm going to name it as my account name plus Northern Virginia key pair. So this way I will remember. So I'm going to download. Yeah, so let it get download. Okay, go to the network settings. I can use UAT, so I'm going to select UAT or prepod, anything is fine. Okay, and I'm going to use a private because I don't want to use a public, and public IP is disabled. and I'm going to create a security group. So name it as UAT security group. UAT security group. And so allow from anywhere, we'll make it as custom. And what is the VPC which we want to allow? So just observe here. See, from first I will log into this machine. From here to here, this one. So this is a private instance. So 10200. So I need to allow 10200 series. So 10200 0.0/16. Only then the incoming will allow and launch the instance. Okay, now coming back to the diagram, this is also ready, this is also ready, and this is also ready. All the three are in three different VPC. You're getting it? Three different VPC. So why I created this way? So that we will create so many peering connection in order to understand. Okay, so now let us come here. Okay, so last week what we did? Okay, go back to the instance. Yeah, so now first let us try to connect to this machine. Okay, so copy the address. Now SSH-I. And I told you, if you get confused, what you have to do? You always use the connect option. Okay, it will give you the exact thing. Okay, but in my case, I don't have any confusion. So EC2-user@IP address and hit enter. You will be able to correct. Okay, I have used another key here. 1 second. Which key pair I have used? Let me check. Yeah, key pair -1 is here. Yeah, this one I need to use. Okay, so I have logged in easily. So I have logged into this machine. Okay, which is in this VPC 172 wala. Okay, now I want to log into this machine which is in another VPC. Now watch, this will not be allowed by default. Even if you allow in the security group, I will show you. See here. So as you can see, this is allowing only 10.200 0.0. Okay, which means only within the VPC. Now I will allow for another VPC also. So what is the another VPC here? Let me just check. So go to the VPC. Yeah, so this VPC. So you need to allow, because from here, this is where I have created Bastion host. No, so I need to mention this IP. Okay, so allow only 22 port number for us. So allow from Bastion VPC. Okay, save rules. Even though I have allowed here, now see. Okay, now come back to the EC2 instances. And check the key pair also. See, key pair -1 is here. Both are having same key pair. See, you can check cross verify. Both are having same key pair. Yeah, see here, key pair 1 is here. But only difference is both are in different VPC. Now I have allowed to connect from Bastion host to this machine. You're getting it, but still I will not be able to connect. Just wait and watch. So now first what I have to do, I have to get first exit. I need to copy the key pair, right? So first, what I have to do is scp-i. I need to use the same key to copy. Sorry, key pair -1 is here. Key pair -1 is here. Okay, so I have to use the key pair, and what I have to copy. So I have to copy the key pair only. So copy the same thing. Okay, so where I have to copy? So ec2 -user and this one, but where? So the path will be home/ec2-user. So these things you should remember. Okay, so this means this is successful. Now I will log in again. Okay, now I can see there is a key pair. I need to change the permission. So sudo chmod 600. Okay, so I have changed the permission. Now I am going to use ssh-i ec2-user. Select the private instance IP address. So this is 10.200. And if I try to connect, it will not connect. You have allowed everything, but why? Even now I will get the connection timeout. Because what is happening is, now what I did here, so let me replicate the laptop here. Okay, and replicate this also. Okay, fine. So I'm using the git bash for the SSH session, and I'm using the key. So first I copied the key to yeah. So first I copied the to the Bastion. So think that I have copied here. So this arrow indicating that I have copied. Then I change the permission. Now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to connect from this machine to this machine, which both are in two different VPC. Please remember that. Don't, as I mentioned in VPC, but they are in two different VPC. So let me mention that also. So in Mumbai region only, but there is another VPC. So this is in another VPC. Both are in Mumbai. See, these two are in Mumbai only, but this server is in this VPC. This server is in this VPC. Okay, but this connection is not allowed. Now I am trying to, but in the security groups and in the firewall, I have allowed, but I will not be able to connect because this connectivity, this linking is not yet done. So that is what you have to understand carefully. So this will be only possible if I bring in the peering connection and attach. Only then I'll be able to connect. If you can see, it would have failed already. See, connection timed out. I have allowed everything. You getting it? So what I have to do, first step is you have to identify both the VPCs are different. Of course, now both the VPCs are different because one VPC is 10.200 and another VPC is 172. So it is entirely different, two different VPC. Okay. Now first step is you have to create the peering connection. So in peering connection, there will be a creator VPC and the acceptor VPC. So you have to go to the VPC and you have to create the peering connection using selecting the VPC to which you want to peer. Peer in the sense you want to connect. Okay. Then after creating, you need to accept that connection. Okay. So once it is accepted, still it will fail because what I had told you, see, the routing table will always look for the information in routing table. So you have to mention about the peering connection to the router. And you have to tell that boss, look, I have created a peering connection. If you get any request towards the peering connection, please allow. So this information you have to put it in the routing table, which will be here for that respective subnet where you want to connect. Only then, if you follow these 2 to 3 steps, then you can connect in between VPC. So let us do that. So I will go to the VPC and I'm going to name it as Bastion VPC for our naming convention, right? So as you can notice here, these two are two very entirely different. Okay, but rule says you can be at least the second one should be different. Say 10, 2, not 1 something. It will work. Okay, so now I want to create the peering connection between Bastion VPC and test VPC. So how to do that? So on the left hand side, you have to select peering connections. So as you can see, no peering connection. So click on create peering connection and you can say peering connection between BV. BV means Bastion VPC to TV, that is test VPC. Isn't it? So select a local VPC to peer with. So I'm using the Bastion VPC. So automatically that VPC will get popped out here. Okay, now select another VPC to peer with. So if you want to peer with your own account or another account, so another account ID you have to mention. I can peer with, so that is the benefit. So peering is useful in this scenario. If the two VPCs are two different accounts, then also you can peer. So it will behave as a local connection. Okay, but for now I don't have any other account, so I'm going to select my account. And if this peering connection is in the same VPC or different, I mean same region or different region, but for now it is in the same region, so I'm going to select this region and select the acceptor VPC, which I'm going to select as a test VPC. So as you can see, automatically the test VPC CIDR ranges came into the picture. And now just click on create. So it will get created by this PCX unique ID. So go to the peering connection. Now if you see here, it says pending acceptance. Means the VPC owner to which you have created a peering connection, that is test VPC, that owner has to approve. But in this case, I am the owner. So I'm going to go to action and I either reject or I can accept. If I reject, then it will be get rejected. If I accept, then it will be accepted. So click on accept request. That's it. So now it see, okay, it got popped out. So now it is saying modify your routing table. Isn't it? What it was showing? So modify the routing information. You have to allow on the both the routing tables. Okay, so now we'll go to the VPC. So in the VPC, how many routing table are there? Let's check it. So in Bastion VPC, there are main route table. So here also I need to add. Go to the routes. So click on edit routes, add route, and I need to mention the 10.200 0.0/16, which is the test VPC CIDR ranges, and I need to select, sorry, not the transit gateway, peering connection. So automatically it will pop out, and just save. Same thing, I had to go to the other subnet also. So go to the subnets. And in this Bastion VPC subnets, all are following the, I think, only one routing table. Let us verify that. Yeah. So you can see here. So you can select another subnet. Yeah. So all the three subnets, they are all following the same routing table. Okay. So I have informed the routing table about the pairing connection in the Bastion VPC. Now I have to do the same thing for the this VPC. So which subnet I have created? This private instance. So check that. So the subnet is test subnet 1. So you can directly go from here. So click here, it will take you. And click on routing table, routing information, click on route. Yes, and you have to select add route 172.31.0.0/16. That is the CIDR, right? Isn't it? So that is our CIDR. You can cross verify. Yeah, 172. So you can cross verify in the VPC section. Yeah, so 172.31.0.0. That is the thing. And you have to select peering connection. Yes, it will pop up and save. Now this two-way connection is established, and now I will be able to connect. See, earlier it was not asking, so now I can connect. So now these are two different IP. See, so if config is the command to check your IP address. So I can see here 10.200.0.228. Now if I exit again, see how fast the connection is. If config, so this is 172. Clear? So now coming back to the diagram, so this is established. So what I did, I logged in to here, and after creating peering connection, now I am successfully able to connect to this machine, of course using the peering connection. You're getting it? So in this is test VPC, and this will be Bastion VPC, or sorry, this will be Bastion VPC. So Bastion VPC, and this is test VPC. Now it will make, and both are in Mumbai region. Don't forget that. Now let us do the same scenario for this another VPC, which is in Northern Virginia, which is in different region also. We can do that. Okay, so let us do that. Okay, cancel. Yes, so now go back to the, now where are you now? I am in a test VPC, correct? So let it be here. From here I will try to log into where? Northern Virginia. Okay, so let us go there. So change the instance, change the region to Northern Virginia. Yes, so it is already running. It is ready. Now which VPC I have selected? So 1000. So it is totally fine. So, and the VPC is UAT VPC and UAT VPC subnet private one. It doesn't matter, because peering connection will allow to connect using private IP. I don't need a public IP. Okay, but I should remember what I should take care is the key pair I should copy from. I have downloaded to my laptop, so this key pair. So think that, okay, I have written here. So yeah, so this is Northern Virginia. Let me delete this. So this will have a key pair, no? So this key pair, I have downloaded in my laptop. So first I need to copy to Bastion and Bastion to here and here to here. So it is a complicated process. Don't get confused, because I cannot log into this machine directly because this is a private instance. So I can only connect to the Bastion VPC. So first I will copy this key pair to this machine, and from here to here I will copy to this, and after peering connection I will be able to copy, I will be able to use this to log in from here to here. Okay, that's it. It's not that complex, but if you understand the what do you say, that basics, it will be clear. Okay, so let us do. So first I'm going to copy the key pair. So I'm going to exit from everywhere. Okay, so I need to copy. So what is a key pair? So let me check the key pair name. Yeah, so this is the key pair name. So just copy it. It's not there. Just a second. Let me check where it got downloaded. One is your NV. Yeah, one is your NV. Yeah, I had to add the extension. Only then it will copy. Yeah. So it is successful. Now again I will log in to this machine. Now this is Bastion. Now if you see here, there are two key pair. Now this again I need to copy. So SCP-I, I'll use the key pair.vanisia, but I'm going to copy the Northern Virginia key pair to the private instance. Okay, so ec2-user @ and what is the private IP? This one. So 10.200.0.228. So 10.200.0.228 and home-ec2-user. Yes, it is copied, and now and login. Now if I see here, so this get copied. One is yeah, Northern Virginia copied. So coming back to the diagram, so from here to here I copied, then I logged in here, then here to here I copied this key. So I will represent like this. So this copy. Now I'm going to change the permission. After that I will try to log in, but I will not be able to connect to this machine because there is no peering connection. After that I am going to create the peering connection, and then I will observe the behavior. Okay, so first change the permission. So sudo chmod 600, change the permission and try to log in. ssh-i, one is a key pair, ec2-user @ and what is the IP address? So 10.100.143.107, which will fail because there is no peering connection, or I have not mentioned in the routing table also. Okay, so this will fail. So meanwhile, let us also now try to create the peering connection. So now go to the VPC. Yeah, so go here, VPC section. Click on peering connection. So we already have one, so create one more. So now so peering connection, so test VPC2, or you can name it as Mumbai to Northern Virginia. So this way you will remember. Now which is the requester VPC? So test VPC. Now at this point, this is the requester VPC. So now my account only. Then this region, no, another region. So select the region. So Northern Virginia. So acceptor ID. So in this case, the acceptor ID you need to pick it up. So the acceptor ID will be here. So which is in the Northern Virginia. Okay. So copy and paste it here. So this is the acceptor ID and create a pairing connection. See, now I need to change it to Northern Virginia. See, pending acceptance, go to action and accept request. That's it. So once your request accepted, so it is saying modify my route tables now. So you have to modify the routing table. Okay, so which subnet we have created? So UAT VPC subnet private 1. So let us go that UAT VPC private subnet 1, correct? UAT VPC subnet. Okay. Okay, these are all routing table. Let us go to the subnet. UAT VPC private IoT VPC subnet private 1. Yeah, so this is the one, and go to that respective routing table and go to the routes, edit routes, and add the route. So what is the VPC I should allow? So 10,200, right? So add that. Sorry. So go here 10,200.0.0/16 and pairing connection. Yes, and save. Okay, and same thing I had to come back to the Mumbai VPC. That's okay. So go to the subnets, and which subnet we created the instance? Subnet 1, right? So test subnet 1. Click the routing table ID, edit routes. So add. So 10.100, right? So 10.100 0.0/16, isn't it? So if you check here, that is the 10.100 0.0. So that's it. So pairing connection. So which one? So this one you have to select. That's it. So now, so this was time dot, right? Now it should be able to connect. See? So outside region also I can easily connect. See here. See? So this is the benefit of VPC peering. Clear? See, it is not complex if you go by the flow and if you go step by step. Okay. Otherwise it will get confused. So always remember the diagram and you have to go step by step. Only then you will not make any mistake. Okay, so now we have done pairing, but if you can play around with the firewalls in the this one, that is NACL and the security groups. Okay, so let me show you. See, now I am able to connect, right? See, and I will like exit again and again I will show you. So I'm able to connect. So I'm able to connect now. But see, I will do some changes in the security NACL firewalls. Just watch. So I'll go to the Northern Virginia region. Yeah, so UAT VPC, this one. So See the network ACL. So if there is a blockage here, so select this and go to the inbound rules and edit inbound rules. If I block, if I just change it to deny, then no one will be able to connect. Now just see. So this will fail. So this will fail because I have, what I did here, I have rejected. So I have done from anywhere. This rule means all traffic, all protocol, all ranges, all any source, means from anywhere you deny. Okay, so if I again change this to allow, it will work. Okay, now just cancel and rehit. See, it is working. Okay, so this is, see, as you can see here, NACL is the first firewall which will be blocking the traffic. Okay, now I will do the some changes here. Now you have to tell me whether it will allow or reject. Okay, so now I will add a new rule. I will just name it as 101. I am going to say allow all traffic, all, but I'm not going to allow, I'm going to deny. Now tell me, I will be able to connect or not? If not able to connect, why? If I'm able to connect, why? I need answers. So
We are
I
able to
have,
connect, sir.
why?
Sir, it is in the CIDR range.
No, it is not about the CIDR range, because in network access control list, everything depends on the rule number. So the lower the rule number, higher the priority. So as you can see, this will get value. So I will show you. See, I will be able to connect because it is not about the CIDR ranges, it is the rule number. This is very, very important. In interview, they are going to ask you this. If again, I'm going to change it. Now, if I have the same two rules, but this I will go allow and this I will deny. Now, this is a different scenario. Now, as you can see, go to the inbound rules. Now 100 will have the priority which says deny. Now after this, if you have n number of rules, that will be overridden or overruled. So if you see now, I'll just see, you can see the traffic itself is blocked. See, I'll not be able to exit also. So that is why NACL is the first level of security, and it acts acts on rule number. Okay, so you have to remember that. Okay, now I'm going to remove this and I'm going to make it as 100 and keep it as it is. Okay, so this is connection is reset. It will take some time. Okay, now, so as we observe, right, so this is the first level of security. So even if you allow in this, so this is the second level of firewall. So if you have blocked here, no matter whether you allow or reject here, it doesn't matter. All the traffic gets blocked here itself. But you have allowed here, and if you have denied here, then it will be allowed here and it will be rejected here. You're getting it? So security groups are the second level of firewall. Okay, so this acts at a interface level, that is at the instance level. But whereas this, all the subnets whoever following this NACL, all subnets by default will follow this firewall rules. Okay, now you can see I got my connection back. See, the moment I changed, so I got my connection back. See, so if config, if you can check the IP address, so this is 1000, which is Northern Virginia. Clear? Yes or no? So no, okay. Now I have allowed here. Now see the thing. If you go to the instance and if you block at the instance level, now see here. So what I have done here, security group port range 22 allow from 10 to 100, which is this 10 to 100. 10 to 100 belongs to the Mumbai region VPC, test VPC. So if I remove this rule, so even though there is a allow in the network access control list, but I'll be blocked. Okay, so these things you should remember. Okay. Second thing, one more thing is, okay, now let us exit again. Now again coming back to the network access control list. Now I am going to make it as I am going to add one more rule. Okay, so I am going to say port number or rule number 100. I am going to select only SSH. Okay, source I am going to mention as the 10.200.0.0/16 and allow. This means only from test VPC it will allow, and only port number. Just see here. Okay, you just remove it and save the changes. Okay, now you can see here rule number 100 I modified to SSH. That means only allow port range and from the source. Now I will try to connect the machine. So I am able to connect because I have allowed from this CIDR range and for the port number 22. Clear? But if you want to connect from this to that, you need to explicitly add in the outbound rule. So that is another difference about the network access control list, because incoming, so for every incoming you have to add the outbound also like this. So let me show you. So we can test it. So let me show you how we can test. So first exit. So let us create an user to test this. Okay, so user add Mithun. Okay, I'm going to use sudo. Okay, then sudo user add Mithun. Oh, it's already there. And sudo passwd Mithun. I'm going to set the password for user Mithun. Done. And I'm going to edit one file to allow password authentication. ssd_config. So there will be a password authentication. Yeah, hit. So this will be no. You have to change it to yes, and you have to sudo service SSD reset. See, don't worry if you are not understanding. These are all Linux administration topics, so no problem. I have just restarted the service. Okay, so now I'm going to log into Northern Virginia. Okay, so now I am in Northern Virginia instance. Now I will try to SSH as Mithun at the rate 10.200.0.228. Now this will obviously block because one thing we have to notice is you have to allow inbound rule from the 1000. So let us check that. So go to the instances and go to the Mumbai region. Okay. So 10.0. So let us add here. Okay. Let us observe the behavior. So as of now, we'll get connection timeout. Let it fail, no problem. See, in the inbound rule, as you can see, I'm allowing only from the Bastion VPC and this VPC, but I had to allow from the this VPC also, right? So let us do that. So 10.100. So add rule SSH 10.100. Yeah, so this one. So just name it as allow from Northern Virginia VPC and just save the rule. And now let us try to connect it again. It will fail actually, but I'm going to, but still it is failing. Why? See, that's what I wanted to show you, because see, the reason it will fail is, even though in the I have only allowed the inbound rules, but explicitly also you have to allow for the outbound rule. So just see here, edit the outbound rule, and I'm going to make it as SSH, port range as, so 10.200.0.0/16, and allow. Only then after this it will work. So just cancel. Why it got hang? Yeah, 10.200.0.0/16. Just a minute, it will come out, or else let it be. You can open another git bash and try the same thing from scratch. Okay, so cd downloads. So first we will go to the EC2, right? Okay, we are in the so first we log into this machine first. So click on connect, copy, hit enter. Yes, so I'm able to connect. Yeah, I'm able to connect. Okay, so now I'm going to connect as
Sir, outbound rule you have given 10.200. No, sir, you have written 10.100.
yeah. So this is 200. So this is a private instance of Mumbai. So now from here again I need to connect to so SSH-I EC, that is one is the keeper EC2-user@. What is the IP? 10.100.143.107. Okay, 10.100.143.107. Okay, so let us check why it is failing. So 10.143. Hello. and yeah.
Destination 1000, sir.
Sorry,
Sir, the destination should be 1000, no, sir.
where?
Source.
Where? Which destination you are talking about?
Sorry, not destination. The source 1000 dot.
Here?
Uh,
No, this I have to allow for 10,200. No. See, outbound rule. All I have allowed. So I have allowed only port number 22. No. So outbound, which port I will not be coming to? No, right? So let us allow and save the changes. See, now it was in a hung state because see, it doesn't mean that what I did was in the outbound rule. If you say only port number 22, so you will not come to know by from which port the server is going to send the connection request from which port. So if you say only port number 22, so it will not work. So that is the reason outbound we should allow all the port numbers. So after I allowed the all the ports, it will work. You're getting it? So now also if we cancel. Okay, so now I have created a user, right? So SSH Mithun @10.200. What is the IP? What was the IP? 10.200. 0.228. Just a second. Allowed and go to the networking. Yeah, pairing connection is there. 1000 network ACL. Okay, everything is allowed. Number 22. I'll check in the instance level once more time. .200.0.228. So this is where I created, right? Let me check again. ID Mithun. Okay, just change this and try again. Yeah, so as you can see, so it demanding to open all the ports, not only port number 22. See, so that is what with the, because you cannot expect with only one port your connection is going to establish. So that is why after changing the inbound rule here. So I allowed all the port number, and in outbound also I allowed for all the port number for this range. Only then I was able to connect as a Mithun user. So this is because you will never know from which port the connection will be getting to establish, right? Okay, so this was about the NACL. Okay, and if you block at the security group level, it will be by default this one. Okay, yeah, so that's it for today. Any doubts you can ask me, and please remember to destroy the resources which you have created. Okay, and meanwhile I'll be destroying. Any doubt you can ask me. Yes, any doubts? Going to Northern Virginia. Recent state I'm going to terminate. And go to your VPCs, delete all the peering connections. So delete the related route table entries also, it will get deleted, so you can practice like this. Okay, delete peering connection. So delete. So this is how you can practice. Okay, so this is in the Mumbai, and same thing you can do it in the Northern Virginia. That also you can. Okay, so this also got deleted. Right, so any doubt, guys?
No, sir, no, not as of now. So tomorrow we'll do it and we'll ask them.
Yeah. So please practice this. I'm going to share one document, so like a mini project to create VPC as per the client requirement. I'm going to share it to you today. So please practice that. VPC. Yeah, VPC project 1. Yeah, this one. VPC.
Sir, we'll share the video today itself, no, sir?
Yeah, I will share it today.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
VPC project. Yeah, so you need to do this. Okay, so there is an internet gateway, everything is there, so you can practice this. And there is one more VPC cloud challenge. I'll try to give that also. Okay, I will give this too, so you can practice. So copy this, so share. And one more is this, share. Okay, guys, that's it. So we are done with VPC module, and there is one more last topic which is on transit gateway, but we are not going to do it hands-on because it is very expensive. Okay, so one guy in the last batch, he was charged 10 to 15,000 rupees because he didn't deleted it. So that is the reason I don't want you to, but I'll give you the project to create VPC and everything. Okay. Transit gateway. So I'll share this, please read. So this is after, so this will solve the problem of VPC peering, right? So the VPC peering will have one drawback with VPC peering is, if suppose you have 100 VPC, then you have to create 100 peering connection. So that is the drawback. Okay, so just go through. I'm not going to continue, otherwise it will be too much. So just go through this and what challenges the transit gateway will solve, which VPC peering had. Okay, just go through this one by one. Okay, you will understand. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording.